Alright everyone, I decided to do a little sidetrack with Spiral for the time being and go deal with other Mlp fanfictions that I might as well just get out of the way. So, the first one will be Human Nature by Labyrinth of Lies. Chapter 1. I've taken a short leave from my other fic to bring you this one. Yes, it's a self-insert. Now keep in mind, the character representing me acts the same way I do. Also, I said myself before I thought poems were cool. And this story is written in first person. My friends, all except for one, told me they didn't want to be in the story. Sucks to be them. Also, none of my friends will act the same way as they do in real life. Chapter 1. Traveling Against My Will. Hi, my name's Brad. Or Bradford if you like the fancy stuff. Basically, I have no clue what's happening in my life. Apart from the fact that it was drastically altered in the course of a single day. But I'll fix for that part. Unlike some people, I like to start at the beginning of my stories. It all started at school that Friday. I was walking through the front doors of my high school. Here we go, another day of being an unrecognized freshman, I thought as I walked to the meeting spot of my friends. This little time before school was pretty much the highlight of my day. I'm in all honors classes, but I guess my art and music classes are alright too. I was also staying at 6'4", one of the tallest kids in my grade. I might have been tall, but I was thin as a board. Also, being only 14, I was also one of the youngest kids in my grade. Ironic. I greeted my friends, first with one of my best friends, Tanner. He didn't seem to be smart at first glance, but you'd be wrong. But unlike me, he excels in sports too. We always greet each other with a fist bump. Today wasn't any different. We punched each other's knuckles. The little thing was just something we like. Brad, you're finally here. Everyone's been waiting, he said to me. Why? I asked. Kidding. That was in the corner again, by the way. I'll go see if there's anything wrong, I told him. There was another one of my friends. She considered herself to be all dark, but she was usually too happy to be like that. I walked over to the corner she went to sometimes. Whenever she was there, she was either in a rare state of depression or listening to music. She was just sitting there playing the guitar. Bradford, she said. She's not the only one I let use my full name, but she definitely does it the most. She immediately started to ruffle my short hair. It must look pretty funny, because she's only about 5 feet tall. She apparently does it because, A, it annoys me. B, she thinks it's soft. Hey Sarah, why did you come up with the rest of us? I asked her. I don't know. She did a little spin, hitting me in the face with her hair. She had gotten blood red highlights. Nice highlights. Thanks, I got them last night, she told me. Let's go with the rest of the group. She ran off, leaving me behind. I followed, and we arrived back where Tana was sitting, along with some of the others. I won't mention them. They don't play a big part in this story. Her friend Jack wasn't here. He went to another high school. You see, he taught me how to fight. He was professionally trained in CQC, or close quarters combat. He and his dad took me camping and taught me the fundamentals. I don't have much brute strength left though, or much brute strength though. They quite legitimately taught me how to fight with pressure points. After about a month, I knew about 6 ways to kill someone, and I went away to temporarily remove the use of someone's right arm for a few seconds. Hey guys, I said, bringing pretend to my presence. Brad, I turned to see my friend Kyle. Can you make it to D&D tonight? He asked. Wouldn't miss it, I told him. He was his next sentence. Have I corrupted you yet? I knew what he was talking about. He instead have been aggressively trying to turn me to burn for about 3 months now. Nope. It's not gonna happen, Kyle. I will defeat your morals! He shouted and ran away. That's Kyle. He's almost as red as I am. And at times, even more so. When are you gonna give up this nerd stuff? He asked. Never! I am the nerd among nerds. The crown jewel of nerdom! I shouted that. Out loud. Yeah, that's the random I was talking about. About rings, and everyone gives a dissatisfied sigh. Nobody liked that bell. Not even me. And I kind of like school. I like a challenge. I guess that's why I enrolled in all those advanced classes. I put on my backpack and began my route to class. I spotted Sarah leaving nearby, and so I stopped her. Hey Sarah, I called out. What? She asked, you want to go shoot a bit after school? You know it. She flashed me the thumbs up and walked off. For about a month now, we've been hanging out and shooting bows. I say we've gotten pretty good. I made my way to my first class, Honors Algebra 2. It's a bitch. But I haven't missed a day of school or been tired in 2 years, so why start now? Besides, that didn't kill me inside. I sat down at my assigned desk and waited for class to start. I got on my phone and played a bit of Angry Birds. Class started about 2 minutes later, a few regular latecomers pouring in after the bell. I'm in a junior class, so I'm pretty much the only freshman in the room. The whole class is just notes and homework. Funny, I didn't even have to do today's assignment. Anyways, as the teacher was giving one of her famous boring as hell lectures, I took my necklace off my neck and started fiddling with it. I guess if I could imagine my attire, didn't I? I was wearing my cosplay setup. I'm addicted to Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I had a crown like Ed's, if you know him, and gloves like Roy's. The clothes was designed to fit me, though. The necklace I mentioned was pretty much the most important thing I own. I made it by hand back in the 7th grade, and it's pretty important to me. It's just a little sword made of pewter with a red inset. Otherwise, I'm a pretty plain guy. Dirty blonde hair, hazel eyes, nothing special. I pretty much zoned out for the class hour, and the bell rang. I basically ran out the door to get to my next class, one of the two I actually enjoy. I walked through the door of my ceramics class and started on my next project. I don't want to bore you with details, so I'll just skip that class and all the other required classes. I went to band class, where I picked up my trumpet and took the last seat. I was in no means a top trumpet, but I'm still pretty confident with my skill level. We played and I had a good time. I liked to play, but class in school was over. Sarah, who had a clarinet, was putting her instrument in the locker room next to mine. Still up for archery? I asked her. Yep, see you at the range after school. She walked off. I loved that archery range. I knew the register by name now, and I get a discount. I started towards the bus, and got out my phone and checked the time. 3:05. I can still make it to the bus. As I stepped through the back doors of the school, I was grabbed by a burly hand, which shoved me against the wall. I shot the guy who the hand belonged to, and beholded his ugliness. My life wasn't great, and it wasn't awful. But whenever this guy's around, my life is a living hell. His name's Ben, and he's a school asshat. I pretty much hated him since that time I threw my backpack in the trash. Now, he was straight up hitting me in the halls. His little group of asshat minions stood nearby, snickering. What the hell do you want? I asked conditionally. I can't see my favorite nerd, he said. Then another laugh on the minions. I knew I was a nerd, but it was the way he said it. Look, I have a bus to catch, so if I could just go. I tried to get his arm off my chest, but his steroid-infused muscles were holding me there. I don't think so. I haven't seen you all day, and I need to get rid of some stress. He pulled back the hand that was holding me, and pulled it into a fist. He struck me right in the nose. An audible crack was heard, and it started bleeding. He let me fall to the ground, and I just kneeled there for a second or minute. He broke my freaking nose! I looked up at his horrified face, which was grinning. God, that was easy, the bastard said, turning back to his minions. I wonder if their boy's friends are as weak. I snapped. Several months of pain rage came pouring out of me in the next minute. I never told anyone I knew how to fight with pressure points. I stood up and shouted him glad they could make children cry. He turned to face me. What, you want more? You could beat the crap out of me each and every day, but nobody, and I mean nobody, fucks with my friends. Cute. Nerd boy thinks he sounds a he was cut up by me, starting a full-on charge at him. Obviously, it surprised him. I'd never seen the fuckface so stunned. He tried to punch me again. Never gave him that chance. I put 2 fingers together and closed the wrist, just like Jack taught me. I jabbed those fingers straight into the gap where the ribs come apart. He cried out and doubled over. As he was hunched over, he received a swift knee in the face. An even more audible crack was heard, and he fell to the ground. I looked over at the asshat minions. I looked at them with an expression of pure malice. Run. The rest of the group absolutely bolted, leaving the asshat lord behind. Now, Ben, I said, leaning down, are you gonna fuck with me or my friends anymore? He only whimpered softly in reply. Good enough for me. I walked out the door, and left the Winker lying there in the hall. Looking around, it was pretty easy to tell that the bus were already gone. Damn, I swore, and began to walk home. I arrived at the door of my hotel note that read, had to take your brother to a soccer game. Be back in an hour. Mom. I took out a pen from my pocket and wrote that I was going to the range. I stepped aside, and my dog, who I named Sip, bounded over to me. "Hey, boy," I said, giving a little pat on the head. I went to my room and picked up the necessary supplies. Picked up my 5-foot-long bow and my quiver, slinging both over my shoulders. I hesitated a bit on my next decision, but I decided it was a good one. Picked up my combat knife, which was given to me by Jack, and slipped it into my pocket. I figured it might be a good idea, just in case Pin decided he wanted revenge. I also picked up my iPod as well as my phone, which I had forgotten today. I felt my nose. It was crooked. Definitely broken, I thought, and went out to the garage. I got on my bike and rode to the range. I strode through the door of the large building, only to find Sarah impatient waiting for me. She had a short bow slung over her shoulder. "Where were you?" she asked. "Missed the bus." "Shall we begin?" I asked, taking off as the accent. "Indeed," she replied. "2 targets!" I yelled over to the register. The woman manning it nodded, then pointed at 2 neighboring targets. We took our places, and both readied an arrow. I tripped back on the string, the arrow sliding along the wooden bow. I paid attention only to the target. I released the string and let the arrow fly. It sailed through the air and struck the target. No bullseye, but it was relatively close to the center. "Yes!" Sarah shouted. "I got it!" She had stuck an arrow right into the center of the target. I envied her sometimes. She was great at archery the minute she picked up her short bow. "You win." "Another round?" I asked. "You know it." We drew another arrow and fired. We continued our game for the next 2 hours, firing all the arrows in our quivers many times. As we walked to the target to retrieve our arrows once again, I got a really weird feeling. I broke out in a cold sweat, to say the least. I looked over at Sarah, who looked as distressed as I was. "You feel that too?" I asked. "What the heck is it? It feels evil." "I know." I heard her howling when outside, and I realized that this was no coincidence.